Hello everyone, my name is Loco, and today we got a match between aTnDarKFoRcE in the top left corner on Shakuras Plateau, and in the top right corner we have the well-known Warcraft 3 player Grubby. Many people would call him a Warcraft 3 legend. He is one of the best players in the world, that's for sure. And lately he has been performing well in StarCraft 2. He only switched over early 2011, so he doesn't have as much of experience as aTnDarKFoRcE has. And meanwhile, actually, we can see darkforce already going for a spawning pool. As you can see in the top right corner, you can see the supply count of both players, and he went for a 6 pool, which is the earliest pool possible in StarCraft 2. And both players still wishing each other good luck. And I know this game has been part of a series of games. It was for some kind of oh, let me put myself on busy. This game was part of a greater good, and this game was part of a ESL tournament. So apparently darkforce decided to cheese one of the games at least. Normally isn't really that cheesy, but he went for a 6 pool. As you can see on the production tab, 1 minute and 50 seconds into the game, and the first 6 zerglings are on the way. Let's see how Grubby wants to respond. Grubby actually decided to go for a forge first. He built a pylon on the low ground, which indicates that he wanted to go for a really early nexus. But of course you can't do that against a spawning pool first on 6 supply, so you can't do that. So I wonder how he will respond. He will probably just sacrifice this and just make sure he get 1 cannon up in his mineral line, and at that point he will be completely fine. Meanwhile, the 6 zerglings are running out on the map already. darkforce is on 12 supply and he's droning behind this, so it is really risky. He has to do damage with this, but he is making drones behind this, so he actually just ignores the forge and the pylon and straightly goes for the mineral line, which is the smart thing to do. He decides to attack the pylon, and if this pylon actually goes down, which it might, this cannon that soon will be up will be unpowered. Yeah, and they're gonna go offline, I think. Yep, there we go. This gateway is going to be unpowered, the photon cannon is going to be unpowered, and he's actually doing a lot of damage with this. However, the pylon is up right now and the photon cannon can start shooting away. Which, if we check at the income tab, aTnDarKFoRcE is at 10 supply and Grubby is at 14 harvesters. Excuse me, aTnDarKFoRcE is at 10 harvesters and Grubby at 14. So Grubby doesn't manage to kill this pylon, I imagine, because yeah, those probe will just make short work of those links, and he actually loses both links to the few zerglings. 3 more zerglings coming in. If you check at aTnDarKFoRcE main at the moment, not much going on. He will probably look to expand really quickly, because else he will be behind really fast. At the moment he's saving up a few minerals. Yep, and there this drone goes. Most likely going to be an expansion, which is at 18 supply, and at this point he's only 2 supply behind, 3 supply behind the protoss player, which isn't too bad. He's just running around a couple of zerglings just to annoy this zealot, and this isn't going to do much. This zealot isn't going to kill those zerglings, I imagine, and the zerglings, 3 zerglings cannot really kill a zealot, 4 zerglings can. So I want, yep, it's the Warcraft 3 micro that Grubby has, and he's actually going, that darkforce has, and Grubby's actually going to run. And I don't see him losing this. Is he going to lose this zealot? You can see some really nice micro coming out of Grubby, which is kind of expected after all those years of Warcraft 3. For the people who don't know that, Warcraft 3 is a really micro intensive game, whereas StarCraft is more macro orientated, and you can see how much Grubby risks of his units, and darkforce actually gets the forge, and he will probably also get the pylon. Second gateway going up for Grubby, as well as the third. He's chrono boosting the warp gates, and so far it's looking pretty even. darkforce catched up in drone count quite well. 20 harvesters, 21 harvesters at the moment for darkforce, and 23 for Grubby. so that's kind of even. darkforce will probably transfer. Oh, he will actually rally those drones there. That's fancy. You will see most zerg players actually grabbing a couple of drones from their main and just let them mine in the natural. But darkforce instead decides to rally both hatcheries. He has full saturation in his main. 16 drones are required for full saturation for that, and he apparently doesn't want to screw up his mining, so he will just put his rally point on the natural and have it that way. Grubby, darkforce still being really annoying with a couple of links in the protoss base, and I'm curious, did Grubby actually lose his salad? Yeah, Grubby apparently lost his salad because he lost 1175 minerals already. I wonder how. And now it's going to be over. Three sentries gonna come in, killing the last few links, and now Grubby will probably look to expand, I can imagine. Or he will not. Or not yet. Oh, he actually built a 4th gateway. So a 4 gate coming out of Grubby, really delayed obviously. And the idea behind this is that I'm not sure if he's gonna look to do some aggression with this, because he is also expanding, but the idea behind a delayed 4 gate is that Grubby knows that darkforce has to catch up in economy, and the only way that darkforce can catch up in economy is by making drones. And at this point there's no way darkforce isn't making drones, so a 4 gate could work technically, because at the moment he only really has 2 queens and 1 swine crawler. The second queen isn't even going to come down all the way, because off creep queens are very slow and this area takes a long time to cover. So Grubby is looking to move out. I wonder how much damage he will do with this. It's just a couple of sentries and a zealot. If you check the production tab, actually he's going for a spire right now, which is a curious choice. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but it could be really effective. Yeah. And Grubby is going to look to go up this ramp actually. That's kinda interesting. And sneaky drone here from darkforce. darkforce decides to not take this expansion, but to take the 4th expansion instead. Just because of this little move that Grubby just did with his little army. If he would have made the 3rd here, it would have been over for this 3rd at least, because there's no way he can back that up. And darkforce is looking to do a Rambe. Grubby's army is way out of position, and he actually does a really nice force field right there. Grubby's army sprinting back, but really nice force field by Grubby. Not missing a single beat just yet. Double gas going up for Grubby, and yeah, well, darkforce picking up a zealot, a probe, and meanwhile he's expanding at his 4th, which is, yeah, like I said, it's a good choice I guess, because this pylon is going to be blocking his normal 3rd, and Grubby won't expect this. I don't think Grubby has any idea that this is here. Nope, he does not know this at all, so he just sees those zerglings nibbling away at his pylon, so he has no idea about the 3rd yet. He can somewhat assume it, I think, because, well, a zerg can't be on even basis really with the protoss unless he's going to do some enormous pressure. And at this time we see the first mutalisks coming out. There are 2 more in production, and I think there are, if we check the unit tab, there are 8 at the moment, which is quite a lot. He saved up quite a lot of gas to do that, and he has a big circling army at this moment. darkforce looking to do some damage. He knows there is 1 cannon in the middle line, so he knows he can't attack there. But he can still do a lot of damage, and he actually killed 1. He doesn't focus fire the stalker. Now that's curious. You should have just finished that stalker. Nice micro by darkforce though, not losing a single mutalisk, so that's really interesting. And really nice response by Grubby already. I know Grubby really likes his micro play. Obviously it's his strong point after playing all those years of Warcraft 3. And he responds really well by getting his Twilight Council up and researching Blink. This will also deal with the Mutalisk extremely well, as long as they aren't in huge numbers. So it's going to be really tough for darkforce to do this. And darkforce actually sneaking in an expansion right here, which is like the last spot that Grubby will ever look for an expansion. If you look at the Protoss main, this is the main of Grubby. This will be his natural. Then here is where his third would be, and this is where his fourth would be, which is completely on the other side of the map compared to darkforce main. They are on the complete opposite side, and Grubby will never expect this. I'm not sure what darkforce wants to get out of this, but yeah, it could be working. darkforce actually stacking up all his overlords right here. I don't agree with that. He should be getting overlord speed and spread them out all over the map so he can get vision. And once Phoenix start coming out of anything like that, he can just fly them all home. Just put them on a hotkey like 0 that you will barely use, but once they are in danger you can move them back. And meanwhile he's just flying around a little bit with his Mutalisk, seeing if he can do some damage. Some links chilling out of the front on Grubby, and he might be gearing up for an expansion, for a attack, but he's actually also transferring drones to this base. That's actually really curious. Spore Crawler coming in, probably just for maybe a possible Phoenix, Void Ray, or an Observer. Grubby, darkforce having a lot of Mutalisk, and Grubby is actually going to take the other third. That's also a possibility. I know a lot of Protoss has been doing this lately. And meanwhile, a big battle going on in the main. Grubby not wasting